Today, as requested, we're going to be doing a 30-minute yoga class that focuses on our neck and our shoulders. If you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and you hit that like button. Just let me put my hair up and we will get started. As we get started today, I'd like you to sit crisscrossed on the floor. Go ahead and pull your chest forward, roll your shoulders back. Try to elongate your spine, tip your chin slightly down as you sit up nice and tall through the neck. We're going to breathe now as we slow our breaths. Go ahead and begin to roll your shoulders out. Taking it slow. Take one more breath for me. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise your arms up any way you'd like, either from the sides or from the front. Fill your lungs completely here, then interlock your fingertips. Bring your hands behind your neck. Squeeze your shoulder blades back as you pull your chest forward, sitting up nice and tall. We exhale here. Go ahead and drop your arms down to the floor. Inhale, rising up again. Filling those lungs all the way, interlock your fingers, exhale. Sit up nice and tall, squeeze your shoulder blades back. One more breath. Very nice job. Let's roll those shoulders out one more time. A few restful breaths here. This time, taking your fingertips again behind the neck, being gentle. We're not going to press on our neck at all here. We're going to exhale, round out our spine as we touch our elbows together. Inhale, open up, try to arch your back and lean up toward the ceiling. Again, we're just barely touching our fingertips to our neck, not putting any pressure there. Exhale, crouch down. This time, get those elbows a little bit lower. As we round out our spine, tucking our chin into our chest. Inhale, rise up again. And exhale. Try to round out your belly as well. Inhale, rise, arching through the back. Exhale, bring the belly button in all the way, round out the spine. Final breath here. And exhale, dropping down. Sitting up nice and tall now, we're going to pull those shoulders back. Take a big breath. As you exhale, go ahead and tip your ear down to your right shoulder. Staying tall here as we continue to breathe. Making sure our shoulders remain relaxed. We're just bringing our ear down to our shoulder. Take another breath, bring your neck back to neutral, switching sides here. The ear comes to the shoulder, still sitting tall through the chest. Inhale, bring the neck back to center. Drop the chin down to your chest as we sit up tall. We're squeezing our shoulder blades back slightly so the shoulders are rested. One more breath here. Inhale, bring your chin all the way up to the ceiling, arching your back slightly if you'd like to. Bring yourself back to a neutral position. We're going to go into our zipper stretch now. So from here, we're going to take our right hand, pat yourself on the shoulder as we sit up nice and tall. Draw your arm into your ear. Reach around now with your left hand and bring it to the back side. It's okay if you don't touch here. We just want to get those hands as close together as possible. We're not going to cheat either. We only are going to go as far as we can without grabbing our fingertips This would be cheating if we're grabbing at our hands. So we're just gonna stay right here. This bottom palm is facing out, the top palm faces in, sitting up tall, gazing straight forward. And if it hurts, you've gone a little too far, we can ease off of it if we need to, and then stay right here. Final breath, go ahead and relax those arms, roll out the shoulders. And switch sides, go ahead and pat yourself on the back with that left arm. Bring your right arm around, make sure that top left arm is right up against your ear. If you can get there, we're holding wherever we can or cannot touch. That's fine, just sitting up tall. Go ahead and relax those arms, rolling out the shoulders one last time, and then we're going to make our way back to our seated position. Go ahead and keep your left leg crisscrossed here. We're going to take our right leg though, and we're going to bring it to the outside of that left leg, okay? As we do that, we're going to reach around with our right hand to the back side of our mat, just behind our hips. Take your left hand now. Go ahead and press it gently on the outside of your thigh. We're going to keep our palm up and open, and very, very gently just begin to twist the torso and turn your gaze to the back part of your mat. We're only going as far as feels comfortable. We shouldn't feel like we're straining ourselves here. We're sitting tall still. Draw the navel into your chest. Very good. Bring your chest back to center. We're going to crisscross our legs now. Let's go with whatever way feels most natural and comfortable to you. That's fine. Crisscross those legs here. Take a big breath. As we do so, we're either going to rise our arms up from the front or the sides. Inhale, bringing all the way up as we fill the lungs. And as we exhale, we're going to fall forward, bringing our hands to the mat first. Then just slide your hands forward as your chest and your forehead get closer to the floor. Only getting as low as feels comfortable for your hip and your low back. As we breathe, just let go of any tension you feel here. A final breath. Then begin to sit back on your tailbone. As you do so, just slide your hands toward your legs. We're going to round out our spine, bringing our chin into our chest as we do so. Sit as far back as you can on that tailbone. Then pull your chest forward and rise up into a seated position again. Very good. Let's switch sides now here. We're going to keep our right leg in our crisscross position. Take that left foot now, bring it to the outside of your right thigh. Okay, now reach around you with that left hand just behind the hips on your mat. Grab the right hand now. That elbow is going to go to the outside of your thigh, and we're going to twist around. As we do so, we're going to try to gaze behind us on that left side. Keep breathing here. Draw your navel into your spine, sitting tall. A final breath. And bring your chest back to center. We're going to go back to a crisscross position. Whatever feels comfortable to you, now we need to switch that. So we're going to take that opposite leg and bring it to the top of our crisscross here. Sitting up tall, big inhale as we rise our arms up to the ceiling. Fill your lungs all the way. Exhale, fall forward. Drop your chest forward. And try to relax, let that tension out of the back, out of the hip. Now begin to slide your body upward as we round out your spine. Your fingertips are going to come closer to your legs, chin into your chest. Sit back as far as you possibly can, and then pull your chest forward, sitting up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders out here. Very good. We're going to go into our cat-cow now. So make your way to tabletop, all fours. We want our wrists to be right under our shoulders and our knees to be hip-width apart. The tops of our feet are resting on our mat. Take one breath as we fill our lungs. Then exhale and press your hands into your mat as you drive your shoulder blades up to the ceiling. Tuck your chin into your chest and pull your pelvis forward. Inhale, drop your belly down. Bring your gaze up to the ceiling, arching your back as best as you can here. Get that tailbone up as well. Exhale again, rising up with the shoulders. Inhale, dropping down, tailbone up. 2 more breaths. Inhale, belly down. Final cat-cow. And bring that belly down. Great job. Bring yourself back to a neutral spine. We're going to go into our thread the needle stretch. So first, let's take our right hand, bring it to the center of your mat. Take your left hand now. Begin to slide it underneath your arm with that palm facing up. We're going to start to lower our body down to the floor and get that left shoulder all the way on the ground. Begin to walk your right fingertips now up overhead. As we do so, we're going to twist through this opening we've created. We want to try to keep our hips right over our knees if we can. And just relax here as we feel that stretch from up the back of our shoulder. See if we can't just twist your chest open a hair more. Take your right hand, slide it back down toward your head, press into the floor, and rise out of your thread the needle. Taking your left palm now to the center of your mat, we're going to take our right hand, slide it underneath our left arm. As we do so, drop down onto that right shoulder, rocking your left fingers all the way up and extended overhead. Now twist through that opening and try to gaze toward the ceiling. Remember, we're trying to pull the belly up into our spine still. One more breath. Now slide your left palms down towards your head, press into the ground, and rise out of that thread the needle stretch. Very good. Getting ready now, we're going into our downward facing dog. So we want to dig those toes in the back. Walk your hands forward just slightly here. So we've got a little bit of a wider stance. Now we're going to press through our feet, lifting our knees up off of the floor. Flatten out the back of your feet and flatten out your back. As you do so, you're going to kind of pull your chest forward, get your ears right in between your arms, and gaze at your thighs here. You might feel a little tight at first. It's okay if you bend your knees a little bit, but we want a nice flat back. So we're going to keep that chest pulled forward and our gaze right in between our arms. Now let's begin to pedal those feet as you breathe, trying to straighten out the legs just a little bit more here. Great job. On your next breath, go ahead and begin to bend at the knees, just bringing yourself back down to tabletop pose. Bring your big toes together and sit back in child's pose for just a minute. We're going to drop our chest to the floor, arms come to our sides, palms facing up. Bring your forehead all the way to the ground if you can get there. If this is uncomfortable to you, we can remain a little bit higher if we need to from the forearms. We can even rest our head on our fists here. Just find a restful position. And and try to slow your breaths down. One more breath. Now bring your palms to your mat just above your shoulders. Press into the ground and rise out of your child's pose. Bring yourself back to downward facing dog. Digging those toes in, hands come forward. As we press into the floor, we're going to rise up into that downward dog. Big breath, take one more inhale, rise your left leg up to the ceiling. And exhale, bend the knees, step it through your hands. We're going into a low crescent lunge. So we're going to bring this left knee down. Exhale, rising up with our arms. We're going to arch our back as best as we can. Really sit down into your pelvis. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your feet. Step back with this left leg into plank pose. One breath here. Try to keep those hips up. And then we're just going to drop the hips down into our upward facing dog. You might need to set your knees down for a second. Get the tops of your feet on your mat. Then lift those knees off of the ground again. As we do so, try to bring your chest and your gaze upward. Squeeze your glutes in the back. Press into your feet. Squeeze all of your leg muscles and stay nice and strong here. Then if you need to, we can set those knees down again and pull the hips forward, or we're just going to press through those feet, rising up into our downward facing dog. One more time. Let's bring those hips nice and high, those feet as flat as we can get them, the back as flat as we can get it. One more breath here, then we're going to inhale, rise with the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, bend the knees, step it through the hands into our low lunge as we exhale and rise up. Arch your back here, sit into your pelvis. Keep it going. Now I'm noticing my stance isn't great. I need to widen myself a little bit here so my knee stays right over my heel. Exhale, fall forward with your hands. Bring yourself into plank pose as we bring that forward leg back. Big breath. And into our downward facing dog. You can use those knees for a second if you need to. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your leg muscles. Bring your chest upward. Now bend at the knees, bringing yourself back to tabletop pose and then child's pose. Bring those big toes together. Sit back. We're going to take 3 restful breaths. Bring your palms up to the ceiling. Keep your lips shut. Inhale through the nose. Then open your mouth. Create a hollow space as you exhale. Use your diaphragm. One more breath. Bring your palms to your mat. Rise out of that child's pose. And we're going to make our way up into a standing forward fold. So how I'm going to get that there today is a downward facing dog, rising up for one breath here. And walk my feet forward to the front part of my mat. We're going to straighten out the legs as best as we can. Go ahead and reach down toward those toes and then just begin to draw the upper body down to the feet. Okay, so we're reaching down toward those toes. Fold the body in half, bringing your chest and your forehead toward your legs. If you need to bend the knees slightly here so you don't feel too much strain, that's fine. But if you start to feel dizzy, just lift your head for a moment, gaze at the mat, and then fall back down into that pose. One more breath here, forward fold. and fill your lungs. As you exhale, rise to a half lift position. Bring your arms to your ears, really sit back into your hips. Pull your chest forward so we have a nice flat back. Now exhale again, pull your hips forward, and as you do so, inhale, rise your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Try to think about your standing posture here. We want that pelvis forward slightly, and we want to round out our belly just a little bit, where our chest is forward, our shoulders are back, our arms are up still. Now what we're going to do is exhale, bring our elbows out nice and wide, cactus your fingers. Inhale, rise your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, reach forward, keep those back flat for a moment, and then round out the spine as we reach down toward those toes. Try to grab onto the big toes or get your hands underneath your feet. Then as we do so, straighten out those legs a little bit more this time. Draw your arms straight as well as we kind of pull through our low back and up into our arms. Exhale, go ahead and release those hands out from under your feet. One more breath. And go ahead and ragdoll. We're going to bring opposite arm to opposite hand, just above the elbows. Just let everything dangle here. We want our head to dangle, those arms as well. And if it feels good to you to move and sway gently through the hips, you can go ahead and do that here. Final breath, go ahead and drop your arms down to the floor. Exhale, rise to your half lift. Sit back, wiggle those toes. Straighten out your legs. Exhale, pull your hips forward. Inhale, rise all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, arch your back. Bring yourself into cactus. Inhale, rise, bring your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, falling forward. Then go ahead and bend your knees, setting your hands down right next to your feet. We're going to step back with one foot followed by the other, back into our tabletop pose here, okay? Now very quickly, we're going to go ahead and bring our hands right under our shoulders again, going into our opposing extension. We're going to take a breath. And as we exhale, bring that left hand, right leg extended. Your chest to remain right at center. Your belly button is up into your spine. Your hips are level. We're not going to twist open here. We're going to stay nice and level. Inhale, bringing your body back to center. Exhale, switching sides. Right hand comes up, left leg comes up. Neutral body as we look at our mat. Inhale, bringing yourself back to your mat. Good job. Very quickly here, we're going to go ahead and do our lotus. So what we need to do is bring ourselves down to our mat. We can do chaturanga to get there from our plank position. We're going to bend at the elbows, fall down toward our mat, and rest down on the floor when we need to, when we feel that strain on our body. Go ahead and bring your arms at your sides. Your fingertips should be facing up to the ceiling. We're looking at our mat for a minute here. Take one big breath. And then rise up into your lotus pose. We're going to lift our arms, our legs, our chest off of the floor. Try to gaze forward slightly. Get those legs up as high as you possibly can. Come on, you got this. Feel that body working through the low back. Inhale, lower your body down to the floor. Turn your head to one side and take 2 strong breaths for me. Inhale, lift your head up, turn it to the opposite side. Exhale, fall down to the ground. One more breath. Very good. Rolling around now for just a moment. We've got our final pose today, right after our last stretch. So we're going to go into our two knees here. Go ahead and keep your arms at about a T position. We're going to take both knees, both feet together, and go ahead and lower them down to the left side of your body. Try to get them as close to the floor as you can without lifting your shoulders off of the ground. We have these knees to the left side here, so we're going to turn our gaze and look through our right arm, opposite of where those knees are. Inhale, then exhale, press your knees back to center, bringing them now to the right side of your body. As you do so, turn your gaze to the left side, keeping your feet and your knees together. Get as close to the ground as you can without your shoulders lifting up. One more breath. Big inhale. As you exhale, bring your knees back to center and go ahead and straighten them out down to your mat. We have just a quick minute here for Shavasana. So we're going to turn our palms to the ceiling. Roll your shoulders back so they're pressing into your mat. Let your head and your feet fall where they feel the most comfortable. Make sure your low back isn't arching here as well. If we feel like we're arching a little bit, just tip your pelvis forward, draw your belly button in. Close your lips now, but keep your mouth open and hollow on the inside. Take 2 more deep breaths for me, and then for just a moment, you can let your mind wander and your breaths become more shallow. as your awareness returns to class, take one final deep breath today, filling your lungs all the way to the bottom. Open those lips again as you exhale, pressing through all the way to the diaphragm. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your neck and your back feel much better now, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.